All right, everybody, welcome into the Bettor In-Laws podcast. A little different environment, as you can see from the past two episodes. Last week, we were at Guys. Week before that, we were between two ferns. But now we are at the Card Vault state-of-the-art studios. This is incredible.
Awesome.
If you have not seen Card Vault officially launched this week, it's right to the right of the TD Garden escalators, and holy shit, it's incredible.
Incredible.
Between the actual store itself and this new studio that went, it's insane.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane. So please come on down to Card Vault, check it out. You won't regret it. It's really a tremendous store. So yes, I'm Tuck Silva. This is Matt Prisco. We are brother-in-laws, in case you are just checking out the podcast for the first time. And if you are a returning listener, thank you. And if you haven't done so already, please leave us a 5-star review. If you really enjoy us, like us, subscribe to us, do all the above, because the more you guys do that, the better it helps us.
Yes.
And of course, follow us on Twitter at Bettor-In-Laws, Instagram at Bettor-In-Laws as well. So we're going to do a little different setup this week. Just, playing around with different things.
Switching it up.
Yeah, just switching it up a little bit. We're going to do a recap from week 6 and how I fucking killed. And then we're going to get right into the likes. We're not going to mess around. We're going to get right into the likes. We give up 5 likes per podcast, one of them being a best bet. So we'll get through the likes, then we'll do the rest, our quick takes on those, and then we're going to wrap up the show with our best bets. I don't know where to look.
Love it. There's a lot going on here.
Yeah. I'm like, do I look over here? Do I look over
Pretty
there?
cool. Just to give some perspective.
I'm very nervous with all these
The
cameras.
curtains are
All 3 of
open.
them.
You can see us in studio
that's
recording
the thing.
live as people are walking into the garden.
We're in a
Awesome.
fishbowl. We're in a fishbowl studio.
Yep.
We opted to open the curtains to see people entering North Station. So we're just waiting people to flip us off, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So yeah, there we go.
Can't wait.
All right, so let's do a quick recap of our week 6 here. I went 4-1 again.
Beautiful
That's
week.
3 straight weeks of me going 4-1.
Very
which,
hard to
if
do.
you do math, is 12-3 over the past 3 weeks.
Yep.
And you went 3-2, correct?
3-2. We were both 3-1. It's worth mentioning. Headed into Monday Night Football on our first head-to-head. I had the Chargers plus 2.5. You had Dallas -2. You came away with the winner. Game right on the number almost, right? 3-point game.
Yep.
Nice win for you. Tough loss for me, but that's what you get when you bet the Chargers. More on them later. That's what you get when
told
you bet
you.
the Chargers.
I
I know.
fucking told you.
You know me. I don't like the Chargers.
Chargers have a bye week. Will you please? It's Brandon Staley. He's going to fucking lose.
I know, but you know this. You know this about me. I was against the Chargers all beginning of the season. I said, this is where this is going to flip. Nope, same old Chargers.
You'll never learn.
Never learn.
All right, so just real quick, just run through
Yeah.
all of our picks from last week, and then we'll jump right into week 7 there.
For sure. So, Tuck, 4-1. Hit a best bet. Made your best bets, 2-4 in the season. But the Dolphins, nice, easy win. Little nervous at the beginning? Little nervous there,
No.
Carolina?
No,
14
never a
nothing?
doubt.
No, me either.
Never a doubt.
Me either. I thought you were good. We both had the Colts. That was a loss on the double like, plus 4.5. That was your
that
loss.
sucked.
Lone loss. That one did suck. They were terrible the whole day. You hit a couple under bets of Washington and Atlanta. Under 42
Sweating
and a half.
that one. I sweated that
You
one
did sweat
out,
that one out
I'll
a little
say
bit
that.
towards
Yep.
the end. Saints, Texans, under 42 and a half. Another nice play. And then the Dallas game we just talked about, -2. Wraps up 4-1. For me, Ravens in the UK, or -4. Got a nice morning win there. Did lose the Colts, as we just talked about. Cincinnati, -2.5 was a win. Detroit, -3 was a win. And again, the Monday night loss. The Chargers plus 2.5. So 3-2 week for me. I did hit my best bet of the Ravens. Made my best bets 5-1 now on the season. So that's that's the recap of last week. 18-11-1 Tuck on the season for you. 15-15 for myself. So both trending in the right direction. So let's keep it hot for the show.
Yeah. So with that being said, and my hot streak and everything, I have zero confidence in these Week 7 picks.
Tough card, but
Because
sometimes
this is a brutal card. You
Brutal
have the
card.
Panthers, Texans, Titans, Jets, Cowboys, and Bengals all on bye weeks. And on top of that, it's just low scoring across the board.
Yeah.
In the NFL. 12 of 15 games hit the under. So not sure what's going on there. It's just really bad quarterback play if you ask me.
Injuries, quarterback
Yeah,
play.
injuries have just been getting
officiating.
worse.
Officiating.
Yeah. What game stuck out to you officiating-wise?
Well, as a 49er fan, I didn't like that final drive where they're throwing flags for Cleveland on some tough defensive penalties. They didn't deserve to win the game. Well,
No,
that's fine.
They did
but
not deserve to win.
Also, the Cowboys-Chargers game, my God, were they trying to gift that game to Dallas? Again, the Chargers didn't deserve it. 2 games there that were just eye-opening bad officiating.
That's the thing for me
games.
is like if you suck and you're clearly the worst team that day, you don't deserve the flags.
Yeah,
One way or the other, you know what I'm saying?
but don't throw
Like, don't
flags
play
when
like
there's
shit.
no flags.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I totally understand that. But still, just show up and play, I guess.
for sure.
49ers.
Well, we'll talk about them.
So overall for the season, the under has hit 60.9% of the time, which is
Decent.
incredible.
Decent.
The good news is that after this week, there are no buys until week 12. So weeks 8 through 12, there are no bye weeks.
No buys.
there.
Is that different this year?
Yes, it's a slightly different setup there. All right, so let's jump right into it. Let's start out with our first here. I'll go first. Let me just jump ahead to week 7 here.
Yep.
Looking at the Washington and Giants game, give me the under 39.5 there. Under is 17-4-2 for the Giants' last 23 home games overall. And by the way, the Giants at home this year have scored 3 points.
Not bad.
That's 0 in game 1 versus the Cowboys, and then 3 home with the Seahawks.
That's not bad.
That's it.
If you think about it, that's 1.5 points per home game.
The matchup overall between Washington and New York, they have gone under in 18-4-1 in the last 23 matchups in New York for some weird reason there.
Yep.
Looking back at 2020, you saw a 20-20 tie between these two teams, and then a 20-12 Giants win in the last season. This just feels like a sloppy, weird game as we usually see between these two teams. Sam Howell and that Washington O-line have been struggling. Now, that being said, the Giants rank dead last in the league in terms of sacks. Fun little fact there, they have 5 sacks on the season. Mm-hmm. But I'm just looking ahead to week 8, too. The Giants have the Jets on deck next week, and what's always a big game at MetLife Stadium between, obviously, the two New York teams. And on top of that, the Commanders next week have the Eagles home, who they played very competitively, as they should, in a divisional matchup on the road in Philly. Mm-hmm. So now they're going to be coming back home, pumped up to go. So I could see this being a look-ahead spot for both teams, really. Mm-hmm. And I think that plays to the under here. So give me under 39.5. Do you have any follow-up thoughts on that?
I lean that way as well. I didn't take a total in this one. I would lean the under in this game.
Yeah.
I thought the Giants' defense really played well last week against Buffalo. Sunday Night Football, if anyone was still awake.
What did they score, 9 points? Is that what it was?
The Giants scored 9. They were left on the 1 at the end of each half. So, typical boring offense.
Did Tyrod Taylor look any worse than Daniel Jones did?
Nope. And that, Tucker, are you all set with your handicap there?
Yeah, I'm good.
Because you could pass the torch to me. I have a like in this game.
Go ahead.
And it is actually on the New York Giants +2. So let's take the worst game and let's talk about it from every angle. So why do I like the Giants +2?
Please, indulge.
WTF, Tuck. Wrong team favored. All right? The Giants are 1-5.
Okay.
But they should not be underdogs here. My numbers make this game Giants -1. I'm getting the key number through 0. And here's why. So I know when you look at the stats, just about everything's probably going to favor Washington in this game. So why do I like the Giants? Well, Giants 1-5. Here are their losses, Tucker. Mm-hmm. Dallas, San Francisco, Seattle, Miami, Buffalo. Find me a team that's played a harder schedule than the Giants to start the year. That's 5 tough games out of the chute. Now,
yeah,
what's not hard there?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
That's tough. I mean, Seattle debatable, fine, but
Cardinals.
The Cardinals was their 1 win.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'd say the Patriots had a tougher schedule than that, but They suck too.
They played Vegas, the Saints.
Well, that was last week.
I mean, that's all part of this.
Yeah.
It's all part of
I mean, you start off with
Jets,
the Eagles and Dolphins right out of the
Zach
chute.
Wilson.
But whatever. Yeah,
Fine.
I understand your point.
Disagree.
Yeah, difficult schedule.
Disagree.
Yep. Fine.
But the Giants, tough losses. I didn't expect them to win one of those games. So just even thinking who the Giants were coming into this year, thought they'd be a little bit better. Not really. I actually thought they'd probably be 1-5. 3 of those games, they played without their best player on offense. It's Saquon Barkley. They got him back Sunday night. Thought he looked pretty good. Ran for 93 yards in that game. Couldn't get in the end zone right before the half there. That kind of killed them. But so let's start there. Then you have Washington. Well, who have they beat? Arizona. Well, that's who the Giants beat. Denver. And last week against Atlanta. Not exactly murderer's row either there for Washington.
It was a good win in Atlanta. Atlanta is
it was a good
tough
win.
To play
I agree. We talked about that. But that's their best win. I'd argue that the Philly loss was the best they've played. They also got pummeled by Chicago.
Yeah, that was an embarrassment. But I chalk that up to Thursday Night Football and just having your heads up your asses, pretty much.
Maybe,
Which
but
you
at home, you lose
frequently.
by 20 at home to the Bears,
Sure.
who haven't won
Oh,
a
yeah,
game
bad
in
loss.
2 years.
Bad
I mean,
loss. Yep.
Jesus. So not liking what I saw from Washington there. I did like what they saw last week, but again, I thought that was more about Desmond Ridder just being terrible. Rewatching that game the other day, horrible playing by Desmond Ridder and the Atlanta Falcons team. Now, I know Daniel Jones has historically had success against Washington, but I don't think he's going to play in this game. He's got a neck injury. But I don't think Tyrod Taylor is a downgrade at all the way Jones has played. And Jones played, Tyrod Taylor played pretty well last week. Threw for 220-plus yards, had them in the game, couldn't punch it in the end zone. I do have a little bit of worry. They haven't scored any touchdowns since week 3. But I do think in this game, the Giants' offense gets going a little bit. Washington's defense is dreadful. The Giants will score. They're going to get going. I'm taking the +2. They're winning the game outright. New York Giants +2 for me.
Well, that's the thing. It's just like, how do you expect them to score fucking points with that offensive line? Like, I know that Saquon Barkley's back, and that certainly helps, but, there's still confusion with the wideouts and everything. Like, Wan'Dale Robinson is definitely coming up, arrow pointing up on that guy. But it's not much of an offense.
Waller will get going.
Will he?
Yes, because they are... The Commanders are so bad on defense. They're terrible.
They're not
let
that
DJ
bad.
Moore go for 175,
DJ Moore's
200
solid.
yards.
DJ Moore's solid.
Sure.
But I don't know.
They had one guy to cover, and they couldn't do it.
All right.
All set.
Well,
Give me the
listen,
Giants.
not to, shoot you down in your first like
You love
podcast here.
You love Washington. It's
I
weird.
don't love
You
Washington. Honestly, I was so turned off by Ron Rivera on that Thursday
He's a
Night
horrible
Football.
coach.
Yeah, I kind of came around to that because he was just kind of standing there like a statue against in that Bears game.
Yeah.
So, I was kind of coming to your side of the fence on that one. But I'll give you
Let's go.
Give you
Giants winning this game.
The Giants
+2.
I don't see it. I think they're one of bottom 3 worst team in the league. But
If they are, the Commanders are bottom 5 with them.
all right. Well, I mean, like I mentioned, you certainly could be on the right side of this because the Commanders, like I mentioned, have Philly next week, and that's a big matchup. Always is between those, even going back to the last couple of years between Philly and Washington.
Yeah, no doubt, gross game. So let's play the total and the side.
All right, let's move ahead to my second like here, which I don't know. I just see this being another slop fest here.
Ooh.
Bears +3.
I go ahead. The mic is yours, my friend.
Well, let me ask you this. This has nothing to do with the Bears. Do you really think that the Raiders are capable of winning 3 in a row?
Yeah.
I don't at
They're
all.
playing Chicago. Yeah, I mean, that's not murderer's row.
You beat the Packers at home. You beat the shitbag Patriots at home.
Okay.
Now you're going to go on the road and beat the Bears in Chicago?
I mean, that
3 in a row from the Raiders?
I know what
Really?
it sounds like.
Yeah.
First of all, I don't have a play in this game, so just to call that out.
Sure.
When you say, do I think they're going to win? I want it nothing to do with this game. And it's not. I don't know anything. Can the Raiders win 3 in a row? Yeah, because the Bears are on the schedule. But that said, I see where you're coming from with this. But who are the quarterbacks in this game? We don't know who the quarterbacks are for the Raiders.
That's why give me the points. Give me the points for the home dog. I don't know who the quarterbacks are. I think we know who the quarterback is for The Bears, what's his face from Division II there?
Yeah, I couldn't even say his name. I could tell you he
What the
was
hell's
as
his
bad
name?
as anyone last week.
It was
Banjan. Oh, we should know this, but I forget.
No,
his
we
name.
shouldn't know this.
We
You
shouldn't know it
shitting
because
me?
he shouldn't be.
everybody can't. Tyson Badgent.
You Badgent. Thank
Yeah,
you. That's
yeah.
the name.
Who actually was
actually shouldn't know that.
I think he was trying to feed DJ Moore, but he came in a tough spot last week.
Oh, see, a week of practice. Tyler Badgent.
Badgent. Yeah.
We're backing him. You're backing him. Tyler Badgent.
Well, I'll add this too in terms of the Raiders. They are 0-9 against the spread in their last 9 games as a road favorite. I see a trend there.
yeah, that is a good trend. That's a good trend.
And who's the quarterback for the Raiders? I don't know. Jimmy Garoppolo.
Not Jimmy.
Got slapped in the back.
Little
and had
girl.
to be hospitalized.
He just doesn't want to play football.
Well,
Feels
what-
like
what
feels
was
like
that?
I don't know what's going on with him.
What the hell was that?
I don't know.
He went down with a tackle, looked like a hard hit, and you hear the report of hospitalization.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh shit, he must have like internal bleeding or something like that.
Something's wrong.
And we still don't know anything.
No,
it
we
was
don't.
just a back injury.
Not good.
I don't understand
If
that.
I'm the Raiders, I'm playing Aiden O'Connell.
Well,
I
I
saw
don't know if he
Brian
can come
Hoyer
out-
come in.
I don't know if you can come out and play Aiden O'Connell in this one after what Brian Hoyer did coming off the bench last week. And I hate Brian Hoyer.
Brian Hoyer.
But I don't know. It's not a bad spot for him to go on the road in Chicago. But either way, we don't know who the hell the quarterback for the Raiders is going to be. The Raiders are not a good team.
No,
They're
but they
not
have-
a good team. I think they're right there with the Bears in terms of being shitty.
Yeah, but they have some at least weapons.
Yeah, but it's a banged up Devontae Adams. You know, Josh Jacobs is going to be Josh Jacobs. I'll give you that. I like what I saw of Michael Mayer last week.
Yeah,
Who-
getting him involved.
Yeah,
Good idea.
finally.
time.
Jesus, took
Typical
you long
Ra-
enough. You're going with
typical
the Austin
Raiders.
Hooper of the world. But I expect the Bears to come out and just lean on their backfield there. And Roshan Johnson, he was out last week. I think they're going to lean on him heavily. All indications are that he will be playing. And then you have a vet with Donta Foreman there who, came up short of the goal line touchdown last week. And then looking ahead to week 8, you got the Raiders going on the road in Detroit next week on Monday Night Football. So it's a possible trap game for the Raiders.
Okay.
I don't know if the Bears win this game, but I can see them covering 3.
Okay.
I think it's like a weird field goal game that's
Yeah,
going to be
not-
like, 20 to 18 or something dumb like that.
I'm not against the pick. I just don't know how you're actually going to sit
No,
there
I
and
don't
say,
either.
Let's put my actual U.S. currency that I work for
that's-
on the Bears.
It speaks to the card we're looking at, and that's what I said
That's
at the
true.
beginning of the podcast.
There's not
This
a
is
lot.
This is a tough card,
tough
so
card.
bet
Find the
carefully.
spots. Find your spots.
You got a lot of teams on bye. There's not a ton of angles here, but I'm just looking at a spot matchup and both teams who can easily just not get a ton of points. But I think the Bears can keep it within a field goal.
All right, buddy. I think
simple as that.
you're testing the hot streak.
Oh,
I think you're like, you know
100%.
what?
This is the
Fuck
least.
you. I'm 12-3 in my last 3 weeks. Give me the Bears +3.
I want this to hit so fucking.
I mean,
bad.
it could. I'm
Check,
not
never
against
doubt.
it. Not against it, but my God, this is a test of the hot streak if I've ever seen one.
This is a cocky fucking pick.
It's a cocky pick. Like, you looked at this game and said, I need to fucking
12-3.
bet this game. I need to bet this game. I need the Bears
Probably-
+3. That's what he said.
Probably the worst
Out.
possible game
Oh my
on this entire
God.
slate. I'm like, yep.
Slate. We could be talking about
Give me the
worst game of-
shitbag Bears for +3.
I mean, the 2 games we've decided to talk about first are the Giants and Commanders and Bears and Falcons. 2 games that would make you want to go apple
Well,
picking
yeah.
instead of watching the NFL.
Oh, that I won't do. That
No, neither.
That I
me
will
either.
not
Me
do.
either. Don't get any ideas.
All right, so I will say it's my least confident like. How about that?
I
But that
hope so.
just speaks to the shittiness of both teams. But
Deal.
yes, it's a cocky fucking pick. All right, your next your second if you will.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Go.
Me.
Yeah,
right
your
up
turn.
now. I don't
Your
really
turn.
want to
Your
talk
turn.
about this game yet, but Kansas City at home laying 6 to the Chargers. And last week, I could not have been more mad at Justin Herbert. I mean, just missing throw after throw. Guy open, had Keenan Allen in the fourth quarter streaking down the field
Yeah.
for a touchdown, throws it 178 miles an hour instead of trying a little bit of touch, laying it in there for an easy Chargers touchdown in a fourth quarter lead. Nope. Suck, Justin Herbert. So what am I doing here, Tuck? Give me the Chargers +6 6. I guess I hate myself, and that's just
like
the way I'm going to live my life, right? So they are genuinely the most frustrating team, and honestly, one of the hardest teams for me to handicap in the NFL, and they have been for some time. But I know we've talked for years, Tuck. I know when you were on the radio last year, I called into your show, and I gave the Chargers out in this same exact spot, +6 against the Chiefs. And it's just one thing they do well is play the Chiefs well. Last year's results, Tucker. Kansas City, when they went to LA, they won 30-27. When the Chargers were at Kansas City won 27-24, both field goal games in 2021. The Chiefs did win by 6, but that game was in overtime. Mm-hmm. And then when they played at Kansas City again in 2021, the Chargers actually beat them by 6. It's just a game they play them hard, right? It's a division game, always a battle. And I expect to see another game. I think every Chargers game is the same game. I feel like I'm watching over and over again. It's a one-possession game. And if you're giving me close to a touchdown, I'm taking it just about every time, right? Because they're just good enough to stay in these games and drive you crazy. I don't know how people root for this team.
I think that I'm with you in this Chargers pick, by the way. It's not a like for me. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, like you said, they played each other very closely last year. Mm-hmm. And I think that Chargers +6 speaks more to the struggling Chiefs offense.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
We still don't know what the hell's going on there.
They're not the same team on offense. It's the weapons, I think. I mean,
they need to make a trade.
Playing banged up. He's somehow still open on every play. I mean, you watch the Chiefs, it's like infuriating. Like, why would you just cover him?
Right.
Put 7 guys on Kelsey. Figure it out. But I know he's still open. He's still slower, though. Like, you could see he's about a half
he's
step
definitely kind of a
between
Super Bowl
age and injury now at this point. But they just don't have any weapons on offense. And you know what? Defenses are playing them 2 safeties high, and they're making the Chiefs take what they're giving them. Mm-hmm. Everything's in front. They're not giving up the big play to the Chiefs anymore. And to Mahomes and the team's credit, they've been taking it. But you're seeing field goals. They're trying to play bend but don't break against them. And lately it's been working because if you stop Kelsey and Isaiah Pacheco, you pretty much are stopping the Chiefs in the red zone. So that's what I think. Keep this game close. If there's one thing the Chargers can do, it's keep up with them offensively, especially right now. I think the Chargers are a better offensive team. Defensively, though, the Chiefs have really stepped it up.
Now, is there any hesitation on your end that the Chiefs have the extra rest here?
Yeah, so I know Andy Reid's so good coming off like the bye, and it's like a mini bye now because they played Thursday, but not really.
Chargers were Monday night, right?
Yeah, and the Chiefs were Thursday night, so that is like
advantage.
Say the mini bye. It's definitely an advantage here, but I just think Brandon Staley's a terrible coach, but he has had them in the games against Kansas City.
Yeah,
and I think I think he knows how to keep these games close. We'll see. Big game for the Chargers. They have to get this.
Yeah,
they have to
this is a must.
They can't
must win.
They fall to 2-5. They're done in that division. They can maybe go for a wild card, but the division's out.
Well, they sure as shit.
They're already 2 games behind, even if they do win this game.
They're going to get Austin Eckler a lot more involved. And I understand that he was coming off an injury there.
Yeah.
But they did have the bye week mixed in there. But they got to get him way more involved if you want to beat the Chiefs.
Totally agree.
In a very, very difficult matchup. On the road, but I could totally see him covering there. I'm with you on that. Right now, it's 5.5 on DraftKings, so I don't know.
I took 6 at FanDuel.
Okay.
Well, actually, I'm sorry, 6 at MGM.
Okay. All right, so 6 on MGM there. Okay, good. All right, I like that one. Very good. Not an official like, but I like. Let's move to my third like. And this is a double like for both of us.
Oh.
Seattle Seahawks.
Yes.
7.5-point home favorites. I really, really like this spot for the Seahawks. They were in a tough spot last week. They were they had Cincinnati, or they were coming off a bye. They had to go into Cincinnati, who was heading into a bye. So that's always a factor. The home team going into a bye, always, I feel like the team always plays up to that. Mm-hmm. But on top of that, it always seems like the Seahawks just absolutely destroy the Cardinals for the past few seasons, even with Kyler Murray in the mix. Overall, Cardinals, in their last 19 divisional matchups, the Cardinals are 5-15 against the spread. Now, I understand that they had the lead against the Rams heading into the half last week, but they played hard for a little bit, but I think that kind of spoke more towards the Rams just not showing up for the first half.
Yeah.
But, Rams turned it around and just pounded the run. Figured out that the Cardinals cannot defend against the run. If you go and look at the Cardinals defense,
Horrible.
they're like bottom 5 across the board against opposing running backs. They have allowed 800 total rushing yards and 8 touchdowns so far this season, and are also allowing 4.5 yards per carry. So I totally think that Kenneth Walker of the Seahawks is going to have a day. I could totally see Zach Charbonnet, rookie for the Seahawks, getting more involved in the backfield for the Seahawks there. And then overall, Arizona is just 1-10 against the spread in their last divisional matchups, including losses of by 17 and 19 to the Rams and 49ers this year. I think it's a great spot. Seattle, on top of that, they're 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 versus the Cardinals. So I think this is a classic smash spot for the Seahawks offense. Mm-hmm. And I could see JSN, Jackson Smith, and Njigba getting a lot more involved in this one, too. So give me the Seahawks, -7.5. You like it, too. Anything that you want to add to that?
I just, last week, I'll say it, Seattle impressed me. I said on the show last week that they were going to Cincy, tough place to win. If they won that game, I'd be impressed. Well, they didn't win, but they kept it close, and their defense looked really good. They won the stats. They outgained the Bengals in just about every statistical category. I was fortunate to win that game betting the Bengals. So I'll take the win on the card for sure, as always. But statistically, Seattle won the game. The rush defense has been strong as of late. They're allowing 79 yards a game on the ground. You can't run on them. And the Cardinals' running back situation's a mess anyway, so that's coming down. Overall, 4.9 yards per play. It's the best, 9th best in the NFL defensively. You can throw on Seattle, Tuck, but is Josh Dobbs going to be the guy to take advantage of that? I don't think so. I think we're starting to see the reality for Arizona, right? Early on, pretty cool story, come out of the gates, playing hard, competitive, but there's just talent gaps now, right? And we're seeing that. As you play an actual NFL season, your body takes a toll. And better teams just step up, and that's what they're taking a step up in class here. You mentioned how they're getting gashed on the ground. They're 28th in the league. They're also in the bottom 10 in passing. I just think Seattle's going to explode on offense.
This should be, honestly, this should be like 9.
Yeah, I make the game 9, which is why I like Seattle. I think Seattle's going to win this game by double digits. So this is very close to my best bet. This is my second strongest bet. This is if I had my best bet, which is 1A, but this is 1B for me.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, this is a total smash spot for the Seahawks, and I could absolutely see the Seahawks getting multiple turnovers, maybe even a pick 6 or a scoop and score in this one.
Yep.
I don't think the Cardinals have anywhere of a chance of covering the points in this one. And I would be stunned if this closed 7.5 by Sunday. Not a shot.
Some spots it's already 8. You can still widely available find 7.5.
Yeah, go get it if you see 7.5. But this is going to move. Like I said, I think this is going to move to 9.5 by Sunday. All right, so double like there for the boys. That's our only double like for the week.
Real quick, Tuck, let's turn the double likes around. 1 and 2 on double likes.
Oh, you're keeping track of double likes?
Yeah, well, I just have to do because we've only had the last couple of weeks.
Colts screwed us last week.
And the week before against Vegas Monday night.
Yeah, we got to
let's switch that up. We started 1-0. The Jets against Denver.
Okay. Yeah, there you go.
We're going to be 2 and 2, though. I'm very confident.
I didn't know you keeping track of the
well, it's just because we had them the last couple weeks. That's all. Got to hit those.
All right. My 4th like before we get to the rest of them, and then we'll save the best bets for last. I'm going to go with another pick I'm not fully confident in, but I'm going to go take the Steelers points here. Steelers plus 3. Rams, they have a very tough road matchup next week in Dallas. Dallas is going to be coming off a bye, so I think this is kind of a weird interconference trap game for the Rams this week. Rams, major loss in the backfield last week with Kieran Williams, who is seeing workhorse carries, really. I think he was seeing 90+% snap share or out of the backfield there. And by the way, Steelers are coming off a bye. I don't know Mike Tomlin's record coming off of bye weeks, but I feel like he is always a guy who gets his team revved up, focused, ready to go. We've seen the offensive struggles. We've seen the screams for the offensive coordinator, Matt Canada, to be fired by the Pittsburgh fans. I think this is a get-right spot for the Steelers. When it comes to the Steelers in this spot, they are 14-3-1 against the spread in their last 18 games as an underdog of 3 points or less, and they are an outright winner in 14 of these 18 games. That might be my favorite stat of the week.
Yeah, there
honestly.
you go.
And also on top of that, the Steelers, they are an outright winner in 4 straight games as an underdog. You're going to start getting some guys coming off the IR. You got Deontay Johnson, most likely coming back. I don't know if he's been actually activated, but all indications are he will be playing. Pat Freiermuth. So you got 2 security blankets coming back for Kenny Pickett here. I like this spot for the Steelers. Give me the Steelers +3.
Yeah, I lean that way. The Rams are banged up, and their defense isn't great to begin with. I know they held Arizona down last week, but what does that say? I didn't play the game, but I would lean your side. Pittsburgh +3. Not too much to add. I think you hit the nail on the head with the guys that Pittsburgh's getting back, coming off a bye, rested. I kind of lean the over here. I think there's going to be some points in this game.
What's that up?
It is
43.5.
So
okay.
I think both teams are going to score. You know, you look at this and you're like, Pittsburgh, Rams, 2 good defenses. Not really. Both defenses are struggling statistically. So I think there's going to be some points in this game. And I think coming off a bye, Mike Tom is going to fix that offense a little bit. I really do. I expect the Steelers, like you said, getting the weapons back certainly helps. You know, when you have a guy like Deontay Johnson coming back, I think that just furthermore helps George Pickens. You know, he's not being doubled or, bracketed in coverage. Freiermuth coming back is another weapon for them. I just think getting healthier for the Steelers off the bye, I definitely lean that way. I'd also look at the over in this game.
Give me more Jalen Warren involved. That Steelers backfield, too, because I don't know what's going on with Najee Harris there, but seems like they can move the ball a lot more effectively with Jalen Warren there. So maybe coming off a bye, we see that a lot more.
Could happen.
Give me the Steelers +3 there. And just real quick, like Tomlin it's tough to game plan for somebody like Cooper Kupp, but I think their defense can be effective enough to kind of hinder him a little bit because now you have one less playmaker for the Rams to game plan for with Kieran Williams. And I don't think you really need to game plan for rookie Zach Evans. They signed Royce Freeman off the practice squad, and they signed old Rams running back Darrell Henderson off the street.
Yeah.
You don't have to game plan a lot for any of those guys. So if they can just focus and kind of tame Cooper Kupp, then I think they're going to be okay. I know you have Puka Nacua as well, but maybe they'll just challenge him a little bit. Or dare them to let them beat the Steelers with Puka Nacua. So give me the Steelers points there +3. All right, so let's get to the rest of
I got one more like.
Oh, I'm sorry, you do have one more like. Go ahead.
One more like.
Yep.
My fourth like on the board here.
This one I'm interested in.
Yeah.
This one I was like, oh, really?
You probably thought I was going to be on the other side. Tuck.
I definitely thought that. Go ahead.
So I'm going to take the Eagles -2, and it's all about the spot for me here. Sunday Night Football, Miami going to Philly. Look, Philly looked terrible against the Jets, and I've been saying every week on the show something's wrong with their offense. They don't look the same. They don't look great. They lost to the Jets without Sauce Gardner, a Jets team that, quite frankly, really banged up. They're going to have a shocking loss. Jalen Hurts hasn't looked – something looks different about them. But here comes Miami, who, quite honestly, Tucker, you know this. I have a ticket in my back pocket on them to win the AFC East from the offseason, +300.
Nice.
I don't know if you can find a bigger offseason fan of the Dolphins than I was, and I've been saying that since the start. But I got to go Philly here, and here's why. Coming off the loss, I like this for Philly. Miami's schedule really has not been murderer's row. Let's face it. They beat the Chargers in week 1, 2-point game, great game, shootout. They beat the Patriots, who we now know not a tough task. They beat Denver, the Giants, Carolina. So sure, they are, they're still, just because they play those teams, don't blame the Dolphins for that. Yeah. And they've gone in and dominated most of those teams. So kudos to them on that. But the defense just hasn't been great, and I need to see it. When they went to Buffalo, Buffalo handed them their shit, quite honestly, right? Like they pushed
them
their
shit?
shit right in. They put their shit right back in their
I
assholes.
hand them shit.
Handed it to them. Just pushed it right back in. Fell out a little bit, right back in. And I just need to see Miami beat a good team on the road before I fully buy into everything that even I've been preaching to them on this offense, right? The other thing is Philly stops the run really well. And what does Miami want to do first? You see them, all their speed, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, all these guys through the air. But really, Miami's system is Kyle Shanahan's system from San Francisco, and that is establish the run first, open up those passing lanes, hit those quick slants, then go over the top, boom, right? That's what they want to do. Philly is allowing just 65.8 yards a game running the ball. I know that Miami also is leading the league in rushing at 182 yards per game.
And we still don't know the status of if they're going to be getting back Jeff Wilson in this one.
Yeah, I think he is going to play.
I hope so.
I'd like to see him play, even though I'm on Philly -2, just to get. I want to see the best game possible here, anyways, because I really want to learn about these two games. I'll be honest with you, I bet Philly, and I'm rooting for Miami as a 49ers fan. But I just think in this game, Philly's going to be able to slow down the run, and then we'll see how that opens up. Both teams are going to throw the ball through the air. There's going to be a lot of points in this game. It's a total of 52, and I think that's about right. Right? So you're going to see some points in this game, but I think the winner of this game gets decided at the line of scrimmage. Who wins? Does Miami's run game win, or does Philly's defense win? I'm going to take Philly's D-line coming off a loss in this game, so I'm going to lay the 2 here with the Eagles on Sunday Night Football.
My only hesitation with that is, like, have the Dolphins played on primetime football yet this year?
The Pats. Sunday night on the road.
No, that wasn't Sunday night.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah. Sunday night on the road, week 2.
Wasn't that? No, that was a 4:30 game, wasn't it?
No, week 2, Sunday night.
Dolphins.
We all had to watch.
Schedule. Stand by. You're probably right.
Definitely right.
Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. Now I kind of remember it because I remember being so pissed off staying up that late. Yeah, you're right. Never mind. But I don't know. We're still like seeing the Dolphins are still going to get revved up for prime time and showing people that they're legit. And
I think it's going to be
strong
a great
Super Bowl contenders.
It's going to be a great game, and I want Miami to win. Genuinely. I'll be rooting for my bet to lose. Take my money. Give me the game in pocket.
Okay.
But I don't think it's going to happen.
All right.
I think I'm taking Philly.
All right, we've gone through our likes there just real quick. Washington, New York, under 39.5. Matt had Giants +2. I, for some reason, took the Bears +3.
Ugh.
Chargers points +6 for Matt. Seattle, double 7.5. Get that. And then I will take the Steelers points +3 on the road in L.A. And Matt, as you just heard, will be taking the home favorite Eagles -2. So let's get to the rest of the slate here for Week 7 before we get to our best bets.
Yes.
Thursday Night Football, Jaguars, Saints. This line has moved heavily into the, what was it, 3.5 favorites for the Saints?
Well, here's what happened. It opened pick.
And now it's -1 Saints?
It opened pick, and it went up
pick.
to -3. I saw as high as 3. Did you see 3.5? I didn't see it get there.
3.5, yeah.
Okay, that's because the expectation that Trevor Lawrence wasn't going to play in this game.
Wait, what? Why?
He had a little bit of a knee injury, and they thought that they'd rest him.
Okay.
So
back to
now
-1.
that Trevor Lawrence saying he feels confident that he is going to play, still not 100%.
Yeah.
But him saying that is driving this line back towards kind of pick 'em 1 is what you're seeing. So that explains the movement.
Okay, and 40-point total here. If I did have a play, it would be under for this
Under
matchup.
Saints games.
Because what is it? 14 of 15 of their last, or 14 of their last 15 games, they've hit the under.
Every game this year, including I know that, and I know that Thursday Night Football trends usually under as well.
Yeah. So no Thursday night bets but Thursday night bets. I would take the under.
I
on this
did
one.
bet the under.
You did already.
Yeah.
Okay.
Under 40.
So yeah,
I took 40.5, but it did open 42.5.
This one I can't get a good read on though. Overall, like Saints are heading. Actually, no, they don't have a bye next week.
Make the Jags -1 in this game, but that's a fully healthy Trevor Lawrence. I'm not taking a side. I don't know what I'm going to get from Lawrence.
Yeah, that's just a weird
Phantom
Thursday
knee
night
injury,
game
and
to
then
me.
C.J. Beathard's the backup. I'm all set.
I mean, I guess I would lean Saints.
A couple waves, by the way.
Have there been?
Yeah, a couple waves.
People
We've been
were waving to
locked
us?
into your computer in the show, and I'm just like people watching it.
Well-
Like, people waving. Someone we had a dance. Someone dancing. too.
Okay, well, let me know when people wave.
Yeah. All right.
Because I'll wave back.
Very nice. I did wave.
I didn't see you wave.
I may have given a head nod.
Well, a head nod's different.
Yeah, head nod. Can't,
A wave
I didn't
is
wanna
like,
dis- I didn't wanna
hey!
distract you from your handicap.
Head nod is
We're
like-
locked in. It was alike. We were just like talking about the Jag Saints and be like, oh, someone walking by.
I wonder
You
if they
see
know what
people
we're
shopping in Star Market over
Do
here.
they know what we're talking about?
No. Right here, though. They should look up. Right.
I feel like you could get a gist of what we're talking
Yeah,
about
they should
based
know.
on
They
our
should
title. Better. But
I'm
what
going
do
to
we
show up
edit?
in full uniform next week.
What do you
And
mean?
then just a football uniform, and then they'll know what we're talking about. Full eye black
We're talking
helmet,
football.
everything.
I'm looking like I'm about to
Pads.
play a bass at a music festival.
Yeah, you look like you were about to smash some pumpkin ale.
And you look like you were just rolled out of bed and went to Starbucks
Sure
or
did.
something.
Sure did go to Starbucks. Right on the way. Free advertisement,
Like, what are
Starbucks.
these
You're
idiots
welcome.
talking about? Speaking of which, I could use a coffee right
Yeah,
now.
it wouldn't be bad.
It's up at 2:30 this morning.
That's it? Kids, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. The little guy was ready to go.
Choices of life.
2:30 in the
have
morning.
children.
Dada. Ready to go.
Dada.
I was like, nope.
I am.
Please leave me alone. Go
I get
back
it.
to sleep.
I get it.
All right. Other game here. We got the Patriots 9-point home dogs versus the Bills. 41.5-point total here. I really wanted to take the Bills in this one,
Yeah.
but it's just another, Patriots hat off here. It's been off this whole season pretty much. It's a divisional matchup. We saw what the Bills did last week, where they strangely kept that way too close against a horrible Giants team. So I don't know. I just want to stay away from this one. If I had to lean, it would be the Bills. And then I would probably lean the under in this one as well. What about you?
Six like Bills minus 172. I have no idea how the Patriots. If the Bills score 10, is that enough? Like the Bills' defense is good even without their injuries.
Josh Allen has been killing the fucking Patriots, man.
I know, but he's a little banged up. That's my
He is.
one
That's my
hesitation. He's
yep.
got the shoulder.
Yep.
And I just want to see it. I will tell you, I think I did tell you, before I was at the bar last Sunday and before the game started, I saw the look ahead was 8, and I said, oh my God, I'm betting this. And I did. But it's not an official like for me. I did bet it -8. But his shoulder injury, let's see it with him. That's the only reason it's not on my card. I think he's fine. But we'll see.
For what it's worth, these teams have combined to go under in 9 of 12 games this season. And New England's offense still hasn't scored more than 20 points this season.
That's not bad.
That's a formula to lose.
If Josh Allen throws lefty, I think they cover the 8. But I don't know.
I can't disagree with that. I can't disagree with
I don't
that.
know how I actually don't know. I'm looking right now. 94% of the tickets and 94% of the money is on the Bills. That is a hesitation.
Yeah. All right. Let's
If you need a
go.
hesitation. Just giving one for the people.
I'm just
For the people.
That's it's a strong lean to the Bills because this Patriots team is. How much do I have to repeat myself? Like
It's the
a
same
fucking
story every week.
disaster. It's a
They
disaster.
lost to Vegas in Brian Hoyer.
It's literally the worst case scenario that's been playing out. You don't have a quarterback.
Well, it could be worse. You could win some of these games. Because I think at this point, if I'm a
Yeah,
Patriots
that's
fan, I want to lose. The last place you want to be in the NFL is NFL purgatory, like 8-9 or 9-8. Like you're not making the playoffs.
But
you're in hell.
Who's going to be picking the groceries next year?
That's a good question.
That's a valid question.
It sure is. I don't think it's going to be Bill.
I don't
If he
think it is
keeps
either.
losing these games.
No, I think there might be a chance that Bill. Quick announcement after the season might be like, I retire. It's like,
Do you think it's the question
He
is
looks-
does he want
he looks-
Shula's record or not? And that to me is what this comes down to. That's it for me.
yeah, it's true. Like, does he want to
He's
go to
close
another
enough, but
franchise?
he's not going to get there with Mac Jones.
Does he want to go to another franchise and do this all over again at age 71? I don't know if he does. But then again, this guy, all he knows is football. This has been
What's he
his
gonna
life,
do?
is football.
What's he going to do? But
Front
does he have
office
to be the
gig somewhere,
GM? Does
with
he have to
some
be
other
the
team?
GM of a team? And if you're another team, you can't give him that gig.
I could see him being a front office consultant similar to what Parcells was doing.
Yeah, I could
the
see that.
Dolphins.
He's got to do something football related.
Oh, yeah.
That won't be him.
because he'll go insane. He'll go
Won't be in
absolutely
Boston.
insane. But it's time to move on, I think, from Bill. All right, let's look at the Browns and Colts here.
This was a close one for you, right?
This was a close one for me. I was leaning Colts here, but I don't know the status of Deshaun Watson. It does look like he will be playing, but honestly, that doesn't really factor in for me because Deshaun Watson's just been putrid this year.
Yep.
Good win for the Browns last week. Not to bust your balls.
No,
but
it was a great win.
Great win home
With
versus the
PJ
49ers with P.J. Walker.
How was that weather, Tom?
Now, you needed the kicker off.
How was the weather?
No, I know. It was shitty, but,
No, but you told me
maybe
the weather.
Brock Purdy could practice in the rain once in a while. I don't know. It's just a hunch.
Not his fault.
Well, you got to practice. Belichick
As bad
practices
as Brock
in the
Purdy,
rain.
we'll get to the Niners. Go ahead.
Yeah.
But it was a good win for Cleveland. They deserved the win for the most part. Their defense is legit as it gets.
So I wonder if
Statistically speaking, they're like historical defense right now.
So I wonder if the Browns are going to be kind of high/hungover coming off that big win against the 49ers. Now they're going to go on the road to take on the Colts. Browns, they're 3-13 straight up following a victory since the beginning of the 2021 season. And the Browns haven't won or covered the spread in consecutive games so far this season. But again, don't know the status of which quarterback will be playing, so I'm staying away from this one.
Yeah.
But I think the Colts, this is a good spot for the Colts to bounce back here. Very tough defense they're going up against, but I think they could cover the 3 here. What about you?
Just to stay away from me altogether. Like you said, the Cleveland coming off a huge win. We don't know their quarterback. We have the Colts, who I thought they had a good spot last week, and they got just run out of the building. So all set playing this game. Gardner Minshew plays anything like he did last week, forget it. They might not even get to the 50.
Yeah, Browns are legit defense.
Yeah.
Legit defense.
For sure.
Let's see if the Colts will smarten up and get Jonathan Taylor a little bit more involved.
Yep.
I don't know. But, yeah, I guess you can't really do that when you're down 21-6.
Yeah, that happened pretty quick.
Yeah, that sucked. So, yeah, I would lean Colts, but no plays for us here.
Mm-hmm.
We have, wait, did you change? Oh, you did change one. Okay.
Me?
Yeah. Falcons at Bucks.
No.
Oh, no, excuse me. No, never mind.
That's the best bet.
Did we cover everything?
Let me quickly check.
Oh, Packers and Broncos. Excuse
Packers,
me.
Broncos.
So this was very close to a like for me.
We have Lions, Ravens. We have Packers, Broncos,
Yeah. Okay, so we haven't covered Lions,
and Niners.
Ravens, Bucks, Falcons,
Niners, Ravens.
Niners, Ravens, and Packers, Broncos.
So Packers,
let's-
Broncos
let's
next,
do-
then
yeah.
Niners, Vikings.
Okay, very good. Packers going on the road, coming off a bye week to take on the Denver Broncos. Broncos are 1-point home dogs here, 45-point total. Really wanted to like the Packers in this one. They're a much better team than the Broncos if you ask me, but I don't know the status of Aaron Jones. I don't know if there's something more serious going on with his health.
Weird situation.
Like, what? It's his hamstring, right?
Yeah.
Is he just out of shape, or is he just have like a Cooper Kupp hamstring situation?
I don't know. When I bet them against the Lions on Thursday Night Football weeks ago, I was seeing him hopping around in pregame. He's going to be a game time decision, and he looked healthy and fine. I know playing in an NFL game as opposed to warming up, jumping around, like all that, but he hasn't done anything. Like, he came back, he played, then he took a week off. They hit the bye week. Now he's questionable again. I think from what I'm reading through the tea leaves here is that he's going to play, but it might be in a limited role. I don't know.
I'm staying away from it
this
overall.
Is a gross game.
But he should be back because, like, you had Thursday Night Football extended rest.
Yeah.
Then you go in Vegas before your bye week, which you should have won, even without Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
Now you got a bye week, and now you're going on the road in Denver. Like, he should be playing. He should be playing, but
I can't sit there and watch A.J. Dillon in this backfield. Another snap with my money on them.
If Aaron Jones plays, this is going to move heavily to the Packers. This could probably move to 3.5 if Jones is.
Oh,
I can totally see that.
I don't know about that.
The Broncos?
I know, but
Broncos?
but the Packers have been bad.
Packers defense is still fine.
I know, but they lost to Vegas. Like I mean, they've lost.
Yeah, you got the bye week.
They kind of smashed too by the Lions. That game on the scoreboard was a little closer. Came back to beat the Saints in a miracle way. The Packers, I think they fooled me early on. I just need a week off from the Packers. That's not a bye week. I need to just not bet them and just reevaluate.
Yeah, right or wrong. If Jones is activated,
definitely better
for
Green Bay.
The points are going to move into heavily, not more into Green Bay's favor here. Maybe 2.5.
I mean, the Broncos.
Maybe 2.5.
The Broncos,
maybe 3.5 is
the Broncos
aggressive.
are dreadful.
Yeah, they're awful.
Dreadful.
They're one of the worst.
Russell
teams in the
Wilson
league.
is just cooked.
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck they're going to do.
He is all done. Like,
With that contract?
The locker room's a mess. Jerry Judy's trying to fight Steve Smith.
Oh, that guy's a jackass.
Like, what are you doing?
What an absolute clown.
Like, do something on the field, Jerry.
yeah. Like, who are you? Like,
Nobody.
you've had a couple.
Steve's
nice,
completely right.
Keep talking over me.
Sorry.
I keep trying to talk, and then you talk.
Sorry.
You talk, I talk. You talk,
muted.
I talk.
Mute
Okay.
button.
I'm just trying to say that we've only seen like Jerry Jeudy have a couple like big breakout plays. Nothing from this year. But like, who the hell are you to go after Steve Smith and be a jokester around him? Steve Smith is a Hall of Famer, I think. Mm-hmm. Now you can talk.
Jerry Judy's all set.
All right. Let's go to the Niners, your precious Niners, coming off a loss, going on the road at Minnesota here. What is the status of Christian McCaffrey for this one? Because that's going to dictate the spread even more. Right now it's at 6.5, obviously favoring the Niners. 44-point total here. What's the latest on CMC?
He escaped a major injury, so that's good news.
Oblique?
Yeah.
Okay.
But nothing to be like multi-week. Really worried. It's a pain tolerance thing. So I don't know really right now. If he
But
doesn't
Elijah
play,
Mitchell's not even healthy, right?
he's back, and he will be the lead back. Everyone, the little fantasy pickups, be careful with your Jordan Mason pickups. Eli
I stayed
Mitchell will
away.
be the guy. But Mason will be more heavily involved than he has been. Mitchell's just proven himself in that role. So I would think that they're going to go with him more so than Mason, if that is the way. Either way, CMC should be touching the ball a little bit less this week. So I think all three backs will be
Do you want him to
part of the
play?
offense.
Do they need him?
Yes.
Do they need him to beat the Vikings? Debo's fine, by the way.
Debo's fine. I mean, they lost Trent Williams, Debo, and Christian
What's
McCaffrey.
Trent's status?
He was in a walking boot, but apparently,
Oh.
again, he's okay. He came back in that game and played because he said he didn't.
Oh, he
wanna-
did?
He didn't want to
Okay.
leave the rookie backup tackle against Myles Garrett, which, God Almighty, I love Trent Williams.
Wow. I
Just-
love that guy.
He's awesome. But not as effective. But all three guys have escaped major injury, which is the best thing. I do want to say one thing. We talked about this. Purdy played his worst game that he's played as a pro, no doubt. I think that's credit
he would
to
tell
the
you that.
Browns defense. Credit to the Browns defense. I think weather definitely played a factor in that game. But I will also say, without Debo and McCaffrey in game, losing those guys, he still took them down the field against that defense, put them in position to win the game, and the kicker missed the field goal. If there's like, I'm not comparing him to Tom Brady, but just say Tom Brady does that, and the kicker misses the field goal, who's getting blamed? Not Tom Brady, right? So just saying, for as bad as he played, I took that as a positive sign from him in a bad game without star players. So with that said, I think the game's right, the line's right on. I think the Niners are going to win this game by a touchdown or so. If McCaffrey plays, I don't expect him to get like 25 touches in this game.
No,
right? Like I think they'll mix it in, and I'd actually be surprised if they played him. I'm not to say that they can win the game without him.
Yeah.
But they should be able to win the game.
I think that he plays. It's going to be limited.
Yeah, it's
I
not
think that the fact that it's Monday Night Football, honestly, like they probably want him out there just for the spotlight sake.
Showcase
Like
it.
not that you have to like show CMC, but it's a Monday night game. It's a big spot. You know, you want to show your offense as full potential as possible. I think that's part of it. But you know, give him 20 touches. 20 touches.
if he can handle it. And I
if
think
he can
he's-
handle it, yeah, sure.
I mean, he did come back into that game for one play after he was hurt.
Yeah.
And then took himself out. So, pain tolerance thing there. Lean San Francisco.
Yeah, I would too.
regardless if he plays or not at 6.5. But because I think Eli Mitchell and Jordan Mason are just perfectly fine.
if CMC is confirmed, he will be playing. This is probably going to move to 7.5, I would guess.
I think so. It did open 7, but I do think it will get closer to 7.5 than it would.
All right, so we've hit every game except
Our best bets.
for our best bets. So let's get right to our best bets of the week. Give me the Detroit Lions +3
All right.
on the road
Love it.
in Baltimore. This is a disrespectful line.
Sure is.
What is this?
Sure is.
Has anybody seen the Detroit Lions play football this year? I don't understand this line at all. Lions are a legit Super Bowl contender, if you ask me. The fact that they're dogs in this one, if anything, it should be a coin toss because the Ravens are, you know, they're a legit team too. I don't know if they're a Super Bowl contender, but the Lions are like a top 5 team, honestly.
Yeah, throw the point really well.
Dan Campbell's gonna fire these guys the fuck up on the underdog card.
Yeah, has to.
Being like, you guys see that you guys are underdogs. You're 5-1, and they're making us underdogs. What are you gonna do about that? I think he's gonna get them absolutely revved up. This is gonna be a physical game. 2 good defenses, even though Detroit has lost some key pieces on that defense, but they are legit against the run. Baltimore's going to struggle mightily against the run this year. Detroit ranks number 1 against opposing running backs, and Ravens' backfield is just a mess. As it always has been. With J.K. Dobbins being hurt and just the inconsistencies of Gus Edwards and Justice Hill.
It's like they never have one running back.
Like, has Mitchell been activated?
He's active last week, but he didn't play.
It's just like a mess. So Lions, on top of that, they're 15-5 against the spread in their last 20 games as an underdog. They have 7 straight covers where they were an outright winner in 6 times as an underdog. And they're 14-2 against the spread regardless of whether they're being favored or not. Ravens, they're coming back from a London victory. You're going to have that London hangover. It's legit. The time lag, jet lag, whatever it is. And Ravens at home, in their last 11 games, they're 2-8-1 against the spread. So give me the Lions +3. Best bet. The disrespectful line on this one. I was stunned to see this.
Yeah, this strong lean to the Lions as well in this one. For me, I made the game Baltimore -0.5 point at home, but that's not factoring in the travel back and all that. So to stay away, I really like the under in this game. It's something that I did bet, didn't make my official card, but I will tell you, I bet it.
42.
And the reason it's not an official like for me is because this line has come down some. I bet, first of all, the open was 45. I grabbed 44. But man, this is like, what do you like to do? The defense is probably better than you for the offense. So the Ravens, like you had mentioned, they want to run the ball. And Detroit's not allowing you to. 65 yards a game on offense. Also, Baltimore, second in the league against the pass, 163 yards a game they're allowing. That's what Detroit wants to do. So is Dave Montgomery playing this game? I don't think he is. They do look like they're going to get Jahmyr Gibbs back. Let's say, finally, maybe they'll give him the ball.
Well, yeah, they have played a game without Montgomery to this point, and it was Craig Reynolds and Jahmyr Gibbs. Now, I'm almost certain that Gibbs will return this week.
I was reading positive things.
Yeah.
He hasn't been ruled in. He's still listed as questionable here on Wednesday. I love the under in the spot. I just think the teams, the strongest things that the offenses want to do, the defense is best prepared to stop.
Yep.
And if I'm Detroit here, Lamar still trying to throw the ball outside the number. I mean, it's not happening. So I lean Detroit. I played the under, but it's just moved too much, so I didn't give it out as well.
All right, what is your best bet?
My best bet, Tucker, is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home laying 2.5 with the Atlanta Falcons coming in. Atlanta, much better team at home than they are on the road. This one, to me, it's all about Tampa's defense versus Atlanta's offense, right? We saw last week how to beat Tampa Bay, and that is throwing the football. Jared Goff went into Tampa, threw it around, and I don't believe that Desmond Ridder can do that. Yeah. I simply don't.
No, he can't.
He looked awful, even at home last week, where he's been comfortable throughout his entire life as a football quarterback, and he played terrible against the Commanders. I expect Tampa's D to get after him in this game. He totally sucks on the road. Atlanta's going to want to run the ball. Tampa's allowing just 84 yards a game on the ground. And I know Atlanta's defense is playing really well, too, so I don't want to throw that out the window. But I do expect that Tampa's offensive weapons in this game step up. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, just 2 guys right off the bat that they're better than the corners in Atlanta. I think they'll get advantage. So it depends. Can Baker get it done? I think he has a nice bounce back. He was pretty bad in the game. But Detroit's defense is dominant, right? Their defense is a very underrated defense.
Sure.
So that's why I was on the Lions last week. Now I'm flipping. I'm going to Tampa this week. I think they take it. Their weapons are better. I just don't know how Atlanta's scoring in this game. I think it's going to be a game that's going to be hard to to put up a lot of points on both sides.
Yeah.
So give me the better offensive team, and I don't even think that's close. I do lean the under here as well. We also saw some money come in on that one. It's down to 38. It's open 41.
Yeah.
So
it's going to be a
stay away.
slog.
But I do think Tampa's got the better offense, the better weapons. I just don't know how Atlanta's going to score in this game. I really don't. I can't. I would actually be surprised if Atlanta scores 14 points in this game.
That's not far-fetched. Honestly, it's not.
I really think that Tampa's got this. I'm getting under a field goal at home. Give me Tampa all day here. I love this spot. Atlanta's going to try to run, and they're not going to be successful.
You know, Rashard White has been kind of a mess out of the backfield for the Bucks, but that plays to the under, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I totally could see the Bucks pulling out by field goal, but yeah, give me the under on that one. Strong lean for me there. All right, well, unless we got anything else, that will do it, right?
That's it, man. What a great place
we are
to do a podcast from.
Once again, this is Card Vault, right by the TD Garden, right to the right of the escalators. Unbelievable studio. Come and check it out. Come check out the shop. Great spot to check out before a Bruins game or a Celtics game or whatever's going on at the Garden.
Yeah.
You got guys right upstairs. Good pregame spot, like I mentioned last week. Come check it out. Card Vault right by the TD Garden. All right. Like us, subscribe to us, give us 5 stars. All the above. Whatever you guys do will certainly help us. I am Tuck Silva. He's my brother-in-law, Matt Prisco.
Want me to recap?
No,
Screw you guys.
No, I think we covered it. Do we really need a recap?
No, it's okay.
I think we gave it out.
We gave it out.
Yeah, all right. We're good. All right.
Recap.
Thank you, Hurley, for being our first producer in this studio and doing a great job as always. And good luck, everybody. Bet responsibly and all that stuff. And, good luck. See ya. Bye.